ready. We good.
Like driving people to their like doctor's appointments, things like that. Like, what got you started doing that?
It started in church. This used to be my church, but we had another one now. People in there didn't have transportation. You know, once you get on sometimes you get on Social Security, you don't really have much money coming in.
Driving down the path you travel can be a long road for any of us. It's even longer for someone like Leon O'Neal II. O'Neal broke barriers, battled prejudice, and helped change the landscape for sports in not just Texas, but the entire South. The three-sport star at Killeen High became the first black football player to pen a scholarship to the University of Texas in 1968.
Growing up in Texas, and I'd always liked them. I just liked the colors of the school, one thing. And I watched them in that 63 championship game, and they were playing tough and they were hitting. And that's how I geared myself to be a hitter.
Many remember Julius Whittier, who was the first black player to hit the field on Saturdays. O'Neal helped open the door for Whittier, even escorting him on campus during his visit at UT. Leon remembers being under a microscope.
I just had to gear myself and govern myself accordingly so that, you know, we didn't get into too many things. And I knew it was a bigger picture down the road. We were playing that first game down there and how people were talking in the stands about how UT, they got them. And then my brother, he's kind of militant. That was back in right when things were changing, 68, 69, 70. He said he heard him saying all that and he wanted to do something. And my daddy had to tell him, look here, son, we the only ones in here. We got to get out of here.
And proving he belonged at one of the best programs in the nation.
Even my teammates didn't want me there. And they had ways of showing it in signs and things that they said. But I was out there on the field to try to prove them. And once you pop them and give them a slobber knocker, they get to know he out here to play ball too.
Grades sidelined his dreams of being a Longhorn, leading O'Neal down a new path, a path that would bring him to Southwest Texas State. He noticed a change in himself from his time at Texas.
I wouldn't take it as much. I mean, UT was enough to build me up. I was starting getting a little militant, almost like my brother.
Leon shined on the field, leading the NAIA in picks in 1972, earning looks from the NFL, but ultimately got a shot playing semi-pro ball in San Antonio. His playing days came to an end after a tragic loss.
My wife had my son, and 5 days later, she died. I had to raise that boy, and my daughter was 3. And I said, man, I got to go back there. I had a contract offer, but that's if you make it or not.
O'Neal pushed through the pain to make a life as an educator. And Leon looks back on the road he traveled with the understanding of what it meant for progress.
I look back on it and see a lot different than what it was at the time. I was just a young kid. I just wanted to do good. I wanted to try to get to the league. That changed the eye of people in the South about black players. All the way across, because Texas was #1 and all that kind of stuff.